thank you for joining us. So we have Tenni,
Right.
who is a registrar at Norfolk Norwich Hospital, and you're an ST3. And we've got Garance, who's a CT trainee looking to go into plastic surgery. I'm really interested to know how you got into plastic surgery. I know things have changed a lot over the decades, and I know you definitely want to go into plastic surgery. First of all, from me to you, why did you want to do plastic surgery?
Ooh. I think always before I applied to medical school, I see a lot of what plastic surgeons did on TV and all the aesthetic procedures being did. So I wanted to explore that a bit more whilst at medical school. I got a few taster reads. So I was managed to get some time in the burns unit and I was able to see some really amazing work. And I was like, this is really interesting. This is really cool. This is great work. And from there, I was just able to just enjoy plastics more, gain more experience as a foundation doctor and then core training. And then I decided I loved it. I was like, yeah, plastics is for me.
I was wondering how you strategized obtaining points from the portfolio side of the application.
Yeah, that was actually quite a project in itself. So I'd say that the first things that I wanted to do is maybe when I was in medical school, actually, I tried to find out what was actually needed to get into training. And by foundation, I'd made sure I had a printout of what was needed to be a registrar. And that was like everywhere. So something for me to look at. By the time I was a core trainee, I then had more of a formalized table of what the actual operative numbers looked like and what I needed to be aiming to and for. And with that, I have a WhatsApp group with myself and I made that my WhatsApp group picture. So every time I sent myself a message, that was there to look at. But it meant then backtracking a bit, I had an idea of what kind of things that would take a bit longer. That was already in my mind and ticking from foundation years as well. So then projects that might take a bit longer, thinking about educational projects or contributing to either textbooks, websites, those things I could start earlier and papers as well. And then the logbook numbers, as my experience increased, I could then have an idea of what opportunities I really wanted to run for when I was given the opportunity and things were in front of me.
And how did you find, as a core trainee, you were able to get your operative numbers? Was that quite challenging? Or...
Yeah, so I think I was a bit cheeky actually. So when I was at work, I'd obviously make what I wanted to achieve be known to everyone. So when there was opportunities, we balanced between us what we'd be able to do and who would go for what. I think at the time I was the only person who was actually applying that year who was in the firm at the time. So what I did is I had 6 months of general surgery and 6 months of plastic surgery in my CT1. During my general surgery placement, I didn't really take any annual leave. And then I took most of my annual leave during plastics so that I could come back in, but then not be allocated to the ward so that I could then operate, which is good. And then also then weekends as well. If I wasn't busy, then I'd try and come back and operate too, and just made alliances with some of the Regis and some of the other trainees so we could balance who wants what and just see what works best for everyone.
Sounds very committed.
So it's a bit intense, yeah.
And then the next step, interviews. How did you prepare for that and how long did you give yourself?
Yeah. So as I said, alliances are a great thing. So when I actually started core trainee, there was another person who was going to have a plastics themed job. And first day we met, I was like, hi, I'm Tenni, let's be friends. So when it came to ET2, I then proposed, should we start practicing together sooner rather than later? We both wanted to try and get in from core training. So it worked best for us both to do that. So from maybe around September, decided I really want to use that time to lock in and really focus on just increasing my plastic surgery knowledge. To think about what textbooks I wanted to focus on reading, what resources I wanted to start drawing together. When it came to November, I was like to my colleague, let's start practicing together. So we were scheduling at least weekly sessions together, trying to just give it a go. Yeah. And then once we felt that we didn't sound like it was our first date in ever like seeing anything plastic surgery, we decided to start practicing some of the Regis. Yeah. So by January, we're doing that. And then I think by like late February, we're practicing with consultants as well. So weekly, at least, we'd be doing one thing with ourselves and one thing with someone more senior as well. It's really useful.
Great. And I guess what was your proudest achievement as a core trainee? So something that stands out?
Yes. Yeah. I'd say my proudest achievement was in CT2. I managed to gain a national speaking presentation at that press. And I was like, whoa, I never thought I'd be here. So I was presenting a publication that I ended up publishing in J-Press as well. And I was able to present that in front of everyone. It was very nerve-wracking, but like looking back at it, I'm so proud of myself that I was able to achieve that. And if I look back to myself at the beginning of core training, I didn't think that's something I'd ever be able to even say that I did. So
Well, that's really
that's
impressive.
amazing. Thank you.
And now here you are as a
Here
registrar.
I am.
All right, the start. How's it been stepping up?
Yeah, it's been okay. It's okay. It's been daunting. I think always coming from core training, it's not going to be the easiest thing. A lot of people have done trust-grade jobs, not always big expectations. I'd say having 6 months off as well did make it hard because also then it's like stepping back into the medical world, stepping back into surgery, and then stepping up all at the same time. I think I found the first few months quite difficult. It's really good that I'm in a great unit. I knew people here, the consultants are amazing. So it just made it quite a bit smoother. So even when things were challenging, there were always people to talk to. There was always like resources to direct you towards. I think it's been difficult, but I think it's been more of a good challenging. And I don't think I've ever felt uncomfortable or out of my depth. So I wouldn't ever deter people away from trying to go through straight from core training. But you will then still have to put in the graft and the grinders like that you kind of did when you were in core training as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Thank you so much.
That's okay.
So, Garance, have you been put off?
Not yet.
So when are you going to apply for yours?
I will be applying next year, hopefully.
And what kind of things have you done so far to prepare for your application?
So I, similarly to Tenni, I didn't know I wanted to do plastics from right at the outset of medical school, but I got interested meeting mentors throughout medical school. It opened me up to the world of plastic surgery, which otherwise isn't really a focus at medical school. And started getting involved with projects, so presentations, publications, to look towards things in a plastics theme that would be suitable for the ST3 application. And then I did a fellow job last year to try and improve my operative skills and get some numbers going before the start of core training when there's other things that also need to be done during that time to actually make it through the year. So slow burning process as well.
Listening to Tenni today, what kind of things do you think you're going to be doing going forward?
I think I will be printing off the application grid and starting to make an active effort to cross things off, especially on the operative side of things as well. So coming in on study days, annual leave, to try and focus where I need to learn, that Tenni can get the experience, start buying textbooks, I guess, to actually have a knowledge base to build on, just in preparation.
That's great. Okay, thank you very much for that insight. Over the next few months, hopefully we'll have more chats about training, microsurgery, where you guys will be doing a bit of micro for us.
It's great.
And then we'll continue depending on what happens. Thank you. Bye.